In this video, we're going to talk about what to do when the other side does not comply with a discovery request. So you file a request for production and they either, and they basically ignore it and don't comply within the required time period. So sharing my screen here, this situation is dictated by Connecticut Practice Book Section 25-32A, which is discovery noncompliance in a family case. So what it says is that if a party fails to comply with the discovery request or a discovery order in any manner set forth in Section 13-14A, the party who requested such discovery or in whose favor the discovery order was made may move to compel compliance with the request or order. The moving party shall specify in a memorandum in support of his or her motion the discovery sought and the remedy sought. So showing you some samples here, you're going to basically need to file a motion to compel and then a memo in support of that motion to compel. So the motion is pretty basic. It just says, pursuant to Practice Book Section 25-32A, which is the section I just showed you, the plaintiff in the above captioned matter respectfully moves the court for an order compelling the defendant to comply with the plaintiff's first request for production. In support thereof, the plaintiff represents as follows. On so-and-so a date, the plaintiff served upon the defendant the plaintiff's first request for production, pendente lite, it might be a second request for production. It doesn't, it can be any request. And then to date, the defendant has failed to comply with a single request contained in the plaintiff's first request for production, pursuant to a Practice Book Section 25-32A, a memo. Really, it's not a memorandum of law. It's a memorandum is attached here too. So, and then there may be further, explanation here. They may have filed an objection and they still haven't provided requested documents. There may be a little bit more that you need to flesh out in the description of what happened surrounding the discovery. But you're then going to put what relief you're seeking, and we generally will just put order that the defendant immediately comply with the request for production, or order the defendant to pay the plaintiff's attorney's fees incurred in prosecution of this motion, and grant the plaintiff any further relief that the court deems just and equitable. And just so you know, just because you request attorney's fees doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be granted. Discovery, very often in family cases, the opposing side won't provide discovery within the required time period, and it has to be pretty egregious for the court to order attorney's fees. So just keep that in mind. Don't expect that you're actually going to get attorney's fees. Usually the courts are just want to move cases along, and hopefully just filing a motion to compel will move things along so that a hearing isn't necessary. So this is the request that's filed, and then obviously you need your certification of service as you would with any motion. And then the memo attached to it, you just title it Memo in Support of Motion to Compel. And you just state, pursuant to the practice book, the defendant respectfully submits his memorandum in support of his motion to compel. And then you need to list all the discovery that you're seeking. So basically you just list, you can copy and paste from your discovery request motion all of everything that you had requested, or if they've only, maybe they provided some of the documents that you requested and not others. So obviously you will only list the documents that are still outstanding. And then we just copy and paste the same request for relief that we had put down there. So those are kind of the motions. And then, hopefully just filing the motion will resolve the issue and get the other side's attention that they have to provide the requested documents. But ultimately, you file the motion and you may have a hearing in front of a judge where both sides present their case about, the moving party will say what they want and why they want it and what relief they're seeking for the other side's failure to provide documents. And then the responding party may present some objections about why they feel they should not have to provide the discovery or some other defense to this discovery request. So that's filing a motion to compel and how to deal with a situation where the other side has not provided the requested discovery.